Marcus Reed stood at his penthouse window on Christmas Eve, watching snow blanket the city below for 15 years. He had spent this night the same way, alone with his thoughts and a glass of scotch. The tech company he built from nothing now employed 3,000 people, but success had come at a price. His marriage ended a decade ago when his wife finally admitted she felt like a stranger in their own home. His two sons barely called anymore, busy with their own lives on opposite coasts. Marcus had everything money could buy, yet the silence in his luxury apartment felt heavier with each passing year. That evening, restless and unable to settle, he made an unusual decision. He drove to his old childhood neighborhood, a place he rarely visited anymore. The modest street looked exactly as he remembered. With rows of small houses glowing with Christmas lights, he parked across from his childhood home, now owned by strangers. Memories flooded back of his mother baking cookies, his father reading stories by the fireplace. Those were simpler times before ambition consumed him, before he forgot what truly mattered. As Marcus sat there, lost in thought, he noticed a young girl walking up the sidewalk. She couldn't have been more than 6 or 7. Wearing a burgundy coat with fur trim, her blonde hair was pulled back with a red bow, and she carried a small wrapped package. Behind her walked a woman in her early 30s, blonde hair cascading over a cream coat. Mother looked tired but carried herself with quiet dignity. They stopped at a house 3 doors down from where Marcus sat. The little girl knocked eagerly while her mother gently guided her shoulders, but when the door opened, Marcus could see the disappointment even from his car. An older man shook his head apologetically and closed the door after a brief exchange. The mother knelt down, speaking softly to her daughter even in the dim streetlight. Marcus could see the child's shoulders slump. They turned and began walking back toward his car. Something stirred in Marcus, a feeling he hadn't experienced in years. He rolled down his window as they approached. "Excuse me," he called out gently. "Is everything all right?" The woman hesitated, protective instinct clear in her eyes, but her daughter looked at him with curious innocence. "We were looking for Mr. Peterson," the woman explained. "But he moved away last month. I'm Sarah," she continued. "And this is my daughter, Emma." Marcus introduced himself and learned their story. Sarah worked as a waitress at a diner downtown, juggling 2 jobs since her husband passed away 3 years ago. Mr. Peterson had been Emma's kindergarten teacher, the one person who made school bearable after they lost Emma's father. Emma had made him a Christmas ornament in art class. Wanting to give it to him personally, "He always said I was special," Emma said quietly. Clutching her small package, Marcus felt something crack open inside his chest. Here was a child who had so little, yet wanted to give. He thought of his own sons, who he showered with expensive gifts but rarely his time. "I know this might sound strange," Marcus said slowly, "but I live nearby. Would you both like to come in for hot chocolate?" "I have far too much sitting in my kitchen." Sarah began to politely decline, but Emma's hopeful expression made her pause. "Please." "Mom," Emma whispered. Something in Marcus's eyes must have convinced Sarah he was sincere. She agreed, and Marcus led them to his penthouse just blocks away. The contrast between their modest appearance and his luxury apartment was striking, but Emma's wonder at the city lights visible from every window brought the first genuine smile to Marcus's face in months. While Marcus prepared hot chocolate in his state-of-the-art kitchen, Sarah sat nervously on the edge of his leather sofa. Emma explored the room with careful curiosity, stopping at a shelf of family photos. "Is that your family?" she asked, pointing to a picture of Marcus with his sons from years ago. Marcus nodded, his throat tight. "They're all grown now, living their own lives. Don't they visit?" Emma asked with innocent directness. "Not as often as I'd like," Marcus admitted, as they sipped hot chocolate. Emma told him about her father, how he used to read her stories every night, how he taught her to tie her shoes, how much she missed him. Marcus listened, really listened. In a way he hadn't listened to anyone in years. Sarah shared how she was working to give Emma a good life, how some days felt impossible. But Emma's smile made it worthwhile. Mr. Peterson told me something before he retired, Emma said suddenly. He said the best presents aren't things you buy. They're things you give from your heart. She looked at the small package in her lap. That's why I made him this ornament. But now I don't have anyone to give it to. Marcus felt tears prick his eyes for the first time in a decade. Emma, he said gently. Would you like to give it to me? Emma's face brightened. She carefully unwrapped it to show him first. It was a simple clay ornament shaped like a star, painted gold with Love Emma written in careful child's handwriting. Marcus held it as if it were made of glass. This is the most meaningful gift I've received in 15 years, he said truthfully. That night stretched into hours of conversation. Marcus told them about his childhood in this neighborhood, about losing his way in pursuit of success. Sarah spoke of her dreams for Emma, her determination to give her daughter roots and wings. As midnight approached, Marcus made a decision that surprised even himself. Sarah, I know we just met, but I'd like to help, not charity, he quickly added, seeing her stiffen. But opportunity. His company needed someone to manage their employee wellness programs. Sarah had experience in hospitality and genuine compassion for people. It was a position that paid fairly and included benefits. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. She had been praying for exactly this kind of break, but more than the job offer, Marcus extended something more precious, an invitation to be part of each other's lives, to build the kind of family connections he had lost Christmas morning. Marcus called his sons not with his usual brief check-in, but with real conversation. He admitted his mistakes, expressed his love, and asked if they might start rebuilding what they'd lost. Then he carefully hung Emma's star ornament on the small tree his housekeeper had insisted on setting up. It looked out of place among the expensive decorations, which made it absolutely perfect. Over the following months, Sarah thrived in her new role. Emma blossomed with stability. Her mother's stress easing, Marcus became a fixture in their lives. Attending Emma's school plays and weekend park visits, his relationship with his sons slowly healed through honest conversations and genuine effort. He learned to leave the office at reasonable hours, to value moments over money. On the next Christmas Eve, Marcus didn't spend it alone. His penthouse was filled with laughter as Sarah, Emma, his sons and their families gathered together as they sat around the table sharing a meal. Emma climbed into Marcus's lap. You know what Mr. Peterson would say? She whispered. He'd say you were the present we gave each other. Marcus looked around at the faces surrounding him, at the love that had grown from one chance encounter. He thought about the man he used to be, driven and accomplished, but fundamentally alone. Success wasn't measured in stock prices or company growth. It was measured in moments like these, in connections that mattered, in the courage to open your heart even when it had been closed for years. The greatest gift isn't what you achieve or accumulate, it's what you're brave enough to receive when someone offers you a second chance. At what truly matters that Christmas and everyone after, Marcus never waited alone again. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like and share it with someone who needs reminding that it's never too late to change your life. Subscribe for more heartwarming tales, and leave a comment telling us about a time when a small act of kindness changed everything for you.